All right, everyone, welcome back. We have something interesting to talk about today. A big number popped up this week, the $880 million AI bet. So what you thought it's going to be, it sounds like a real estate company doing something real estate companies do, which is doing things that are a little bit out of the box. There are opportunities in this lay of the land, and there's so much opportunity that sometimes I feel like industries like the real estate field just like to create problems so that they can solve them. Just doesn't make any sense to me. I think there's a public narrative framing this deal, which is built entirely on technology, quote unquote, because everybody wants to scale AI. Everybody wants to infuse AI within their ethos because that is the thing to do. Agree? Don't you agree? What's going on? What do you think, Nate? While I
Yeah, I
try to
mean,
fix my mic here.
I think one of the positive things, because we're going to get into a lot of the stuff that just doesn't make sense, but one of the positive things is that they are taking a step in the right direction. They're not so focused on the past that they can't commit to the future, which everybody knows is AI. So we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. And I do want to note that this merger, it's going to position them as one of the tech companies in the real estate industry, but it's also going to cause some head-to-head combat with the Remax agents and the old school way of doing things. Because if the company's on board to focus on the future and commit to the future, well, they need to get their agents to commit to the future as well. And as we all know, real estate's typically about 2 decades behind the tech world.
So when we look at like what these agents are actually being asked to adopt, we were talking about this earlier off camera. What is the generation of agent is really what I'm trying to identify here.
Yeah, so let's talk about well, number one, why they did this, and then number two, what they said they were going to roll out and what they actually rolled out and what they have planned for the future. Because that'll
Okay.
answer some of those agent questions, and if they're a year behind or 6 months behind or whatever.
Okay.
But essentially, like this $880 million deal was to get Remax agents access to Real's AI technology, right? Because everybody at Real uses their AI, and everybody at Remax now can opt in. One of the biggest things about this deal was that they wanted to save money on the administrative side of things. So they have projected about $30 million to save, and that's things like, hey, what's my commission? What transactions have I done? It does pull the information from the MLS for that agent to be able to see kind of what their transactions look like in their commission payouts. So it's all overhead question Q&A kind of stuff, which is just like you could do in ChatGPT or Claude. And it's no different than uploading a file there, except this one is just API'd in, so it can pull the information without you having to download and upload anything. And then the agents that they're rolling out it's Leo. So basically they have a client facing and an agent facing. So clients of the agents, and then they have the tools that agents can use actually inside of Real and Remax to social media post and create their own like AI. It's basically a chatbot. I'll show you guys here in a second, but it's basically a chatbot. It can help you find houses. It's got this little Tinder swipe left. If you don't like the house, swipe right. But again, we're changing user behavior with that, which is not a good thing to do, right? Because everybody's already going to ChatGPT and Claude. I mean, I think we're talking 66% of people to start their buying journey go to ChatGPT or Claude to figure out what's out there for sale for them. I can actually just go in and show you guys what this looks like from like an agent standpoint.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is like the agent side. So when an agent gets in here, they answer a couple of questions. They pick a phone number, they pick a domain, which would just be heyleo.com/whatever your URL slug is. This one is living in Maryland because he's in the Maryland area. And then this text me. So I just put this into my phone and I say, hi, and it'll give me a couple of prompts like, what are you looking for? Bedrooms, bathrooms, square feet, pool, whatever. And then it'll send you a link that'll say, hey, here's some homes that are available. I mean, this is no different than going to your ChatGPT account and housing that information. Like I'm thinking from the buyer side. If I was a buyer, I don't want to have to go to this website every time to look at houses. If I can just build this in ChatGPT, which is literally just putting in how many beds, baths, if I want a pool or not in there, and saying, hey, go scrape Zillow and find me some houses that are for sale that are in this. And then when I come back to it 2 weeks later, well, it's already there. I'm using it every day. This is a whole different link, whole different kind of system. The only benefit is that they can do it from their phone, which you can still do remotely for ChatGPT or Claude. So nothing brand new or groundbreaking there. That link that it does send you, I mean, it's kind of fun. So this is the guy that got early access to it to show us what's going on. You can see here, he's conversing with the agent, going back and forth, and they send out these links. And essentially what this looks like is Tinder. So you can swipe left if you don't like the house, swipe right if you do like the house. And we can see him go through and do this. So he'll go through, looks good, not quite, if it pulls a bunch of condos, you swipe left and it's not going to recommend condos anymore. But I would say that this was the most unique aspect of what Leo can do that, ChatGPT is just not going to do for a normal consumer unless you had to build the app or whatever. But yeah, this was it.
Yeah, from a consumer facing standpoint, I think that's pretty cool.
It's a little like gimmicky. I mean, it's just fun. It's gamified. It's not anything that's
Yes.
you can't get anywhere else. And then this is the actual like website it builds for you. When you type in the phone number and you go down and you can see that none of this is optimized for anything.
Wait,
And
this is it? This is
this is it.
the individual. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, this is his. So I typed in his link and I went to it, and this is exactly what it is. And it's in beta, so maybe they'll make some changes to it. But they were rolling all this stuff out in 2025. And
So in terms of discoverability, it's zip.
yeah. But anyway, all of Leo's infrastructure for AI is reactive. So it's somebody doing something to get a result, asking a question, getting a response, figuring out what houses they want, getting a response. What we're looking for, and just for real estate agents in general, what you're looking for when you buy a tool is something that's going to be proactive. That's going to have basically the setup that when you say, hey, build me a website, it's going to know that AEO, GEO, SEOs needs to be optimized. It's going to know your H1, H2s. It's going to know all of this stuff that is going to optimize your website so you can be found in search. Because like we said, if 66% of people are starting their home search with AI, you definitely want to populate in some of those responses. And if you don't know how that works, I'll just cover it really quick. It's like if an agent specialized in probate, they have a bunch of blog posts about all of their probate work that they've done with clients and tutorials and how-tos and what this means and what that means. AI, when a user like myself goes in and says, hey, where my parents' properties are in probate, I'm looking for a real estate agent that can help me solve my problems with this. And guess who's going to get recommended? The dude who has the most information about probate, real estate sales, and transactions. So that's
Right.
how that guy would get leads. Now, if you're in your own niche with, a different category, you want to do the same thing with your blogs. Niche down, specify. When people ask about it, you're going to come up. It's pretty simple. But like I said, what you want to make sure is that the AI you buy has those things built in for you. So you're not having to start from scratch or learn how or what all these things mean, like the H1 headers and whatnot.
So let's kind of talk about a little bit on the consumer behavior, because I think that you're saying that because it's the consumer facing element, I understand like there's a little bit of a gimmickiness to it, but there's also, because it's gamified, I think the potential there for engagement increases, especially when you compare it to traditional listing. You're shopping for a home or whatever. If they figure out bugs and unless you are going directly to the site because you found it elsewhere, like a YouTube video or a social media post, who's going to know
Yeah, no,
about
and I
this?
had to dig so much just to find that one YouTube video. There's literally no PR besides copy, like just copywriting about what was coming and what they're doing. There's no
Yeah.
screenshots of on the agent facing Leo AI. There's no, when I get a new listing, it does this. It doesn't create the website. It doesn't show any screenshots of emails being written, open house one sheets being written, flyers, any of that. And that was all promised in 2025. So now they're still coming soon. But really, like, as I see it right now, all that the agent facing bot does for the agent is answer questions about their business transactions, commissions, brokerage rules, compliance issues.
Yeah. I would have to concur. I mean, consumer behavior, I think, has shifted so fast. And you consider the fact that from an agent standpoint, like, where's this benefit? How does this benefit an agent, especially when you look at the data that shows over 91, 92% of real estate agents are completely invisible in the AI world, EO, GEO, what have you. And so now we're thinking about what kind of tool or research tool that surged from the percentages up to where we're at today. How are we going to be relevant as a real estate broker? How are you relevant? Because Google is no longer going to be the only ethos that you're going to be able to be discovered in. It's
Yeah.
going to be OpenAI through ChatGPT. I'm sure it'll be in Perplexity, and I'm sure at some point it'll be Claude. Who knows? There's so many things that are going to be happening amongst this thing. So I understand that brokerages are trying to focus on these internal utilities and try to speak to these issues, but they're losing in the discoverability aspect and the visibility aspect of it for their clients, which are these real estate agents. I get the consumer facing side, but discoverability is where things actually start to happen.
100%. And I mean, if we said, it's about 2 decades behind. So you have to think that the average real estate agent is anywhere from like 50 to like 65 years old, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Like typically. Now, are they going to be up to date on all the latest tech? No. Like you said, they're trying to teach AI to a market that barely knows how to use DocuSign. Just as an
Yeah.
analogy, right? I thought that
But
one was pretty fun. Like, yeah,
it's a
people are
true
still
statement.
struggling with just the simplest things in real estate. Because it's old school and it's old fashioned. The people in the business have just been around for so long, they're stuck in the way of doing things the old way.
Yeah.
So you want to make things so stupidly simple for people when you're using AI that all they have to do is literally talk in like natural language and it does the thing for them, right? It just does whatever it is that they're asking you to do for you.
The agent is assuming that they're going to be using this every day in order to become discovered, right? So there's definitely a disconnect there. Do you think that's more that falls on the shoulders of the agent doing their own due diligence and figuring this out? But like you said, the average agent is in their 50s. Do they really care? So they're probably not. So then where does the responsibility fall?
No,
I
I
don't know.
mean, it's does the agent own their own business? Like, yes,
Yeah.
100% responsibility falls on the
Yeah.
agent for
Yeah.
keeping up to date with all this stuff. And like they roll out Leo, and it does a couple of things that are good, especially for somebody who's never used AI before. Which I don't know what percentage of Remax agents out of the 180,000 have never touched AI, but I bet very like a small percentage of them have never used it or have no idea what it is. It's in our everyday lives at this point. So I mean, we talk about like Claude and OpenAI, their race to AI and the Elon Musk deal and all that stuff on the last podcast. Well, you got to think that anybody who's building their infrastructure on top of AI is going to have like the brokerages like Real and Remax and EXP. They're also having their own race to the best tech real estate platform, which is kind of what we're seeing right now. Like
Mhm.
EXP obviously came out with this first in what, 2015 or something like that.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, Remax and Real just started doing this merger last year, and Real's been around for, I don't know, a decade or so. So in that race, they need to be focused on the right things. And it's not necessarily social media posts or understanding your brokerage's compliance rules or anything like that. It is search visibility. Like that is going to be the number one thing that agents, it doesn't matter what brokerage you're at, you're going to want that. So I'm going to just share a couple of statistics with you and then get into, if you are thinking about going to EXP or Real or any brokerage, think about your business first and not what the brokerage offers, because there's so many tools out there that can actually help you do things the right way that no other agent is using. Like if you're going to be one of 180,000 agents, be
Mhm.
different, use something else that's actually going to help you. Okay. So we're going to talk about some proactive and reactive agents here and what those are and where you can find them and how to audit them and make sure that they're going to work for you. All right. So this is the visibility crisis right now. And we have, when users, clients, buyers, sellers go out and search for a real estate agent to use, we have millions. We're talking 9 out of every 100 agents are referred. So this is space that you can grab onto right now. 91% of agents just are completely invisible. Like they're using their brokerage website. It's not optimized for AEO or SEO or GEO. None of that. Okay. So when we're talking about reactive agents, like I said, it is the back and forth, like, hey, go do this for me. There's nothing under the hood that's just running in the back end, getting things done for you. Okay, so on the left side here, you see like what Leo actually produces. Like, okay, it's a just sold post. Now, this is packaged as a done for you product, but it just emails you what the post is. You have to copy and paste it, and you got to post it to your social media. Okay, same thing with any other document. They're getting verification from the user before they post any of this stuff. So if you have a proactive agent, and let's say it's built your website for you, okay? Now you can put a routine in there that says, hey, every Monday at 9 a.m., I want you to go update my market research page on my website with the new correct analytics from this week or the upcoming week or the past week, right? Maybe it has projections on it, whatever. So now every Monday morning, you're not doing that research. You're just going to your website. You're going to go look at it, make sure that everything looks correct and that there's no crazy statistics on there, and you'll be good to go. So while you sleep, things can just start getting done in the back end. Now, HeyLeo is one of Whoosie's products, and we're not selling it to you. This is purely an example for what you should look for in an AI product before you buy it that actually gets stuff done for you. So, for example, when you use HeyLeo, you can say, hey, I got a new listing. Can you help me? This is the address. Okay. HeyLeo is a CMO, right? And it's attached to every single one of these mini agents behind it. So it's going to send out a request to go do research on the property, to find property photos. It's going to go audit the information it found and compare it to other information it found. It's going to go send it to the website guy, and it's going to have you build the website. It's going to go over to the optimization for AEO Geo. It's going to run through that copy and make sure it's optimized. It's going to send it back to the website builder, and it's going to make those edits. So your whole team of AI is right here behind this HeyLeo CMO, which you just text on your phone. So this is what I'm talking about when you just want to get stuff done without having to build a bunch of stuff that that it takes forever and you don't understand. I mean, it's just a package in a way. Make sure you look for the products that are packaged in a way that you're literally just having to tell it what you want and it does it. All right, let me show you some of these websites. So for a listing, this is what it whips up. Okay, you have the Zillow scraper go out. It's got the images. It's pulling the information from the MLS wherever it's getting it, because it gets it from multiple different channels. And then it even builds a video for you. But we can go over to gallery. We can go over to the neighborhood. People can read about what makes this neighborhood special, what schools are close by, the education, the parks, the outdoor recreational activities, all of that stuff. And we can go over to the journal. We can have like real blog posts about what people are doing there that it scrapes from Reddit or Facebook communities. Financing, I mean, if you want to, it goes right into a call to action. So you can just talk to well, I guess when a user's looking at this, they're going to go, okay, this guy's got this thing all figured out. It populated in AI because it had met the specs of whatever I was searching. So this link came up and now I can just put in my name, talk to this guy and figure out what I need to get qualified for my mortgage, right? And I'll show you another example. This is another template. So it's not just a one size fits all. Like there's templates to pick from that fits the house vibe, that does all of it. And we'll go down and we'll look at the video. So this was scraped the images, and then it either uses the staging that's currently in them or it stages it for you, and then it creates the video. And we'll just look at this really quick, just a piece of it. And it's going to go through, I mean, I don't want to waste your time with this video, but it goes through and shows all the different pieces of the house set up in a way that makes sense. So it's not showing front yard, backyard, kitchen, bedroom. It's all sequential in a way that makes sense for the viewer. So all of that stuff is done inside of all these little mini agents that you just talked to. Now, you can go to this website, aeositechecker.com/audit. We'll put it in the link on the YouTube video, and you can type in your URL and see what you actually rank for. So let me just go to this guy's real one and run one really quick, and we'll just see what he comes up as. I know this is in beta, so it's probably not going to be very good. Okay, and after it's done loading, this is what we have, and it'll walk you through each one of these things that you need to have. Your H1s, the Twitter cards there, and it's all point-based, so you can figure out, okay, what's most important to get done right now? Well, I'll tell you what, this one's super important. Any of the AI crawler files are really important, the robots.txt, the LLM's text, like all of this stuff is going to need. And you want to make sure that your website has that stuff. And essentially, if you use a product like Whoozy or something similar to it, you can build your website to have it look like this. Okay, so this is niche specific. This is Mark Schultz. He is a car guy. So he sells houses that have big garages that you can put a lot of cars in. Does this make more sense than having a brokerage website? I mean, to me, I can relate to this guy. I love cars. He loves cars. Why wouldn't I want to work with him? We can talk cars all day. And it builds all of these pages out for you. Now, the cool part, if you go to resources and you hit blog, you don't have to write any of these blogs. Okay, you're giving it information about yourself. You're having it research news through like Perplexity or Google of, car shows coming up. Can I make a blog post about that? How can I get in front of somebody researching cars? Maybe they have 10 cars and looking to buy a house, That conversation is already being had. You might as well see if you can slide yourself in there somewhere. Very proactive though, right? So every blog comes out, it's at one a week, maybe you do 2 a week. Obviously, it built into Whoozy, we have it so you're not over consuming AI where you're building up like 10 blogs a day, because that's just bad for SEO. So we have those regulations built in for you. And then you can get your entire website built, and it can work alongside the one that you already have. So it's not like you need to start from scratch. You don't need to talk to your IT guy and get things transferred over. You can just leave the one that you have running, and when you're ready to cancel it, if you ever want to, you can. But this can run alongside it and help you generate more leads through AI. And just a couple examples. So this was Rick Gray, one of the guys that we have for Whoozy, built a website for his coaching business. And again, it's not just real estate. So he's doing coaching, rentals, whatever. And it's a niche, and he's talking about, hey, how do you get maximum equity in your home? What are the stats? He's all market reports, data analytics, data kind of guy. So all of this stuff is for those kinds of people.
So it looks like there's a branding site that can help build, and also like a listing website as well.
Yeah, so you have a personal website that it builds. And then if you ever want to have it build a website for your listing, you just type in your phone and say, hey, I need a website built for this listing address. That's it. Okay.
That's so simple. And you're saying you do this all from your phone. You just
yeah. iPhone, Android, whatever you want. And I mean, there's also a login, so you can get on desktop and make changes to whatever you want to change or add or whatever. If you don't have it on your phone, you have it on your computer. But yeah, so essentially like these HeyLeo routines is how these blogs are built. It's how the market analytics are updated for the website. It can create like the social post queue. Now, we also have done the same thing where you're not necessarily supposed to link up your social media accounts and have things posted automatically because they're cracking down on that and they don't get as many views. So those are things you need to post manually. But yeah, it'll check your AEO content refresh and give you a weekly performance report if you want it. It's just things that you don't have to worry about, don't have to ask it to do. It just does for you after you ask one time and set it up. Okay.
That's amazing.
Yeah, these things are pretty cool, and like it's just so important for the average real estate agent while everybody's still adapting to get ahead with it right now. Like I said, I'm not selling you on Whoosy. I'm just giving that as an example. Make sure that when you go buy a tool that does all this stuff, well, maybe not necessarily this stuff, but does the things.
Yeah, I mean, there's a real drastic division between what these brokerages promise, especially in terms of marketing, positioning, and functional. What is actually functioning and how can it be used on a day-to-day basis? Seems like HeyLeo is a very streamlined, easy to use, hands-free solution. And I just have to think about like, if you put yourself in the position of an agent, like how would you evaluate the tech that you're being given? Is it adding more complexity or is it streamlining and simplifying your workflow?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you should just go in there and ask it, if I were to do this, can you give me some pointers on how to do it? Just have it do some research on context to be able to actually get the job done right. Cause I'm not always right when I ask AI to do stuff. So sometimes I got to brainstorm with it, you know? And like you're building applications, you can build a mortgage calculator on one of your pages. You can build like I said, I mean, yeah, I'm done, but it's just crazy.
No, I'm with you. It's no longer about like, hey, our brokerage has AI. It's no
No,
longer
it's like,
about
yeah,
it's
it's go find the guys who know how to build the done for you AI tools and then just leverage that as much as you can to get ahead of the game right now.
yeah. Sweet, man. This has been informational, instructional, eye-opening. What a crazy, crazy acquisition. Is there anything else that you want to?
Yeah, if you guys want to learn more, the links are always going to be in the description below. You can set up a quick 15-30 minute meeting, not a sales call, just to, poke the brain, figure out what's going on. If it's for you, if it's not for you, whatever. But yeah, go ahead and use those links down below and we'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.